I woke up this morning, I checked Instagram, I saw this and I thought to myself, yeah, people aren't going to be happy with that. Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the newly announced Hot Toys 1/6 scale Supergirl from the movie The Flash, based on the likeness of Sasha Calle. Now, my initial impressions of this, I remember a few weeks ago there was someone posted something, it was like the Barbie Supergirl or something like that. I remember thinking, like, you know, it's kind of funny looking obviously, and you know, cheap looking, and you know, it's not an action figure, it's not like a collectible, it's just a Barbie thing, but I thought it was quite funny, like. And when I saw this, the first impression was, is that actually a joke, or is that actually, you know, kind of it kind of reminded me of that one, which is not a good thing. Now, when I took a better look at this, I don't think this is an absolute travesty. Okay, there's a lot to like here, but there's some missteps as well. I'm going to start off with the head sculpt. The first thing I noticed is that Hot Toys are very, very good with the sculpted hair. They're getting better and better with the sculpted hair and the sculpted hair application, the paint application. Now, with the character, she had short hair, yeah, but with this here, it's kind of, it's like they gave her more of like of a mop. I know she kind of had like messy hair and stuff like that, but it seems a bit too full. That's what I'm saying. It seems a bit too full compared to the way it was in the movie. Another thing I'm noticing then about the actual face sculpt as well, I'm hearing a lot of people, there's definitely a bit of hate and stuff out there. People are saying it looks like a boy and stuff like that. I can see Sasha Calle here from certain angles. Okay, I think what's happened is it's her lips. She's got fuller lips, so that kind of looks a bit strange because it's kind of one of her it's kind of one of her key features, I would say. And there's something maybe about the nose as well. So I don't think this is a write-off or a travesty of a head sculpt. I actually think it's okay. It's not a 10 or a 9 or an 8. I think maybe it's in around a 7. With some tweaking, it can be improved. But I have to say, she doesn't look feminine enough. Like, she, you know, she's obviously a very, very beautiful girl. And this doesn't actually, I don't think it looks entirely like her. I think it's on the right track, but not all the way there. I think that's a fair enough kind of a opinion or assumption on that, or kind of a description. That's the word I'm looking for. Another thing as well, I'm looking at this neck piece, right? From my recollection in the movie, I thought that came right up. It looks a bit too it doesn't look high enough, to be honest. I think the collar comes like a lot higher up to that's what I remember anyway from the movie. It just gets significantly higher. And the suit is very, very bright and vibrant. Now, it looks cool, but again, my memory, I only saw the movie once, like, and you know, seen pictures and stuff like that, but I think the actual suit, even though they've got the right colors, I think the colors were like darker. Okay, this is very, very vibrant. I think it was a bit more kind of like maybe like the BVS suit or something like that from Superman. Just the blue was there, the red was there, but they were darker. But look, I don't have a price at the moment. It's not up on Sideshow, but yeah, look, I don't think this is an absolute disaster. I think, look, we wanted it, or I didn't want it. I was never going to get it. I'm probably not getting any from this movie because I didn't particularly like the movie. But a lot of people wanted this, and I can see why, because she was one of the standouts and one of the strongest parts of that movie. For me, it's like Keaton, Sasha Calle, and then Ezra Miller's acting. But I mean, you take Keaton out of it, and I wouldn't have gone to see it, to be quite honest. But she was a standout. She was quite good. You know, her line delivery. She didn't have much dialogue, but what she had, she dealt with well. She looked like she had a Kryptonian look, and then the kind of fight scene and stuff, albeit bad CGI, but that's not her fault. Yeah, I think she did quite well. Now, yeah, so look, that's the thing. I think a few things. Well, take a look at some of these pictures. Look, this is what she comes with. A round light up base, which I think it's pretty cool. They've done this with, I think they're keeping this theme, kind of like, if you remember the Justice League ramps, they were awful bases. They're doing something similar with this, only the bases are a lot better. They're circular, they're light up, and it comes with that kind of your waist grabber, bunch of swap with hands. They're still doing the whole thing with the boots. Stop doing that. It's a highly developed, highly posable, and proportionally accurate body. I can see that actually does look, from what I remember about her proportions in the movie, that actually looks quite accurate. It's just the head sculpt just from looking at it, definitely from certain angles it catches me and it's kind of like, yeah, that's not already all the way there. And then other angles I see it and I kind of go, I can kind of see Sasha Kaye there, but I suppose that's not really good enough, you know, having to stretch the imagination. They're quite expensive figures. We know that they are constantly improving their head sculpts, their paint application, the sculpted hair and all that kind of stuff. They can do better. And I definitely think if you look at the lips, her lips are definitely fuller where compared to this, they're just not all the way there. And again, that's just part of getting the proportions right. They should know that. Separate rolling eyebrows function, everything kind of has that now with this nice touch and wired cape. Right, so like to look at just the proportions, and the suit is quite good. I think some shots the red and the blue looks brighter than other shots, but I think maybe the red and the blue should be a little bit muted. So not as vibrant and not as bright. Again, could be lighting, but I don't know. Yeah, the head sculpt definitely needs work. This looks pretty damn cool though. Like, come on, to be fair, right? You've got the proportions dead on. I think they've nailed the suit. Apart from that, maybe it's a bit too vibrant in certain parts. Nice wired cape really adds to this. See, the way I'm noticing this is not a waist grabber. It looks like a thigh grabber. So I've noticed with the new Indiana Jones, the deluxe version doesn't have a crotch grabber or a waist clamp. It has a tiny little loop that goes up underneath the pant leg and holds one of the calves. I'm sure if it scratches the calf, you're never going to see it, which is great. So that's very subtle because you can't see it when it's standing on the base. It looks like it's freestanding. So here you've got this dynamic pole, which is obviously flexible and it clamps onto her thigh. That's quite interesting, and you can see very little of that flight pole behind her. So that is actually, I think this is the way this is the way that I would pose her if I was going to get her. Because overall, I do think it looks really cool. The proportions, the suit. The only kind of issues I have with it is they could definitely make it look more like her, more feminine, fully lips, and just get the face right. And the hair, I think maybe looks a bit too full. Yes, she had short hair. Yes, it was kind of dark hair, and it was messy and stuff like that. But I think maybe they could need to work on that a bit more. So this is obviously a tease of Zod. See, I'm not seeing Sasha Kaye from that particular angle there. Yeah, it definitely needs work. Yeah, the hair sculpt, the sculpted hair needs work. I think it actually needs to be a bit darker, maybe not as full like that. And it's the lips, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of cool. The proportions they've nailed. The suit and proportion they've nailed. Just tweak the color, adjust the sculpted hair. Fix the lips, and I think then maybe it'll look a lot more like her. Yeah, so this is one which will, again, I like the way there's little rivets and stuff like that on the suit. There's a bit of texture on as well. It's pretty cool. They seem to have got the proportions right. Yeah, so Zod is more than likely coming there. That tease of him there. Yeah, look, final thoughts there. Look, the community, I've heard a lot of people saying that whether they like the movie or not, that she was one of the best parts. I completely agree. A lot of people in the community, a lot of collectors wanted this, but I think they got to do better with that head sculpt. I don't think it's a travesty. I don't think it's a write-off. A bit of work and it could be fixed, but unfortunately a lot of the times it's risky because how many final products are better than the prototype? Usually it goes, they're either on par or there's a slight slip. The odd time we have seen prototype head sculpts improve then when they're in the final product, but I think that's a risky business if you're going to pre-order with the hope and fingers crossed. This would be one I would wait until see it comes out. I know then you're playing waitlist wars and Sideshow, but there are other retailers. Just wait, see how it comes out. If you're happy, get it. It's up to yourself. I won't be picking it up, but look, I'm glad it's out there anyway. Hopefully it'll fix it. That's it. Look, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know, give me a score. What do you think this head sculpt is out of 10? I'm scoring it in or around 6 or 7, maybe. I can't decide. It's not an 8, it's not a 9, it's not a 10, but I also don't think it's like a 3 or a 4. Yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.